So dating can get really expensive, and with the cost of just about everything going up, some people are finding ways to keep their dates on a budget. This morning, dating expert Monique Kelly is here with some ways singles couples can save some money without skipping the date. I love to talk with you, Monique, because you always have such good advice. So first up, we got to talk about dateflation. What is that, and how is that impacting couples out there?
Okay, so for a lot of singles who are on the dating scene, they are balling on a budget. The economy is bad right now, and people are looking for ways to date and enjoy dating, but being more cost effective while dating as well.
So, can you really, I guess, impress? Because that's what, sometimes, especially on those first dates, maybe not on down the
Yeah.
road, but at least those first dates, you really want to impress someone. But then if you're like on a budget, is that hard? Like, what's your advice for somebody that really wants to go out there and, wow the other person?
All right, Justin, let me first say this. Low cost does not mean low effort. So let's make sure we put that out there, okay? But if you want to be a little bit more economically mature or intelligent when you're dating, and like I said, you're balling on a budget, there's so many things you can do outside of just a coffee date, especially during the summer. Right now, there's a lot of live concerts where you can bring your own wine, bring your own snacks, sit outside and listen to the concert. You could do paint and sips. Outdoor activities are great, maybe not in the peak of the heat when it's 105 degrees outside, but also indoor rock climbing. There's many things that you could do and be creative while making sure that you have a good ROI when it comes to dating.
Yeah, I see there were some of them were like museums, maybe some places that you wouldn't
Yes.
necessarily think of for a date.
Exactly. It doesn't always have to be sitting down at a restaurant, having that awkward first date where oftentimes you feel like you're on an interview and you're like asking questions. Lots of times, these creative dates give singles an opportunity to have genuine, authentic conversation, and topics come up organically because they're doing something that's fun. And also, you're being cost effective when it comes to your dating.
So you're talking about, kind of just having that upfront conversation or those open and honest conversations. Do you tell the person that you're on a budget and that you're trying to do the date on a budget? No.
Okay, let me talk about this because we're not going to talk your way out of a second date. Okay, you should not be talking about your finances on a first, second, or third date. Absolutely not. You're getting to know someone. Where do you like to travel? What things do you like to do? But if you're being very creative with your dating, then that conversation won't have to come up because you guys are having fun. And I also think, especially for younger daters, social media has set unrealistic expectations where people are looking for Instagrammable moment dates instead of a genuine connection. So I think it's important, especially for us younger daters, that you all are really having genuine conversations and realistic expectations. And also for us more seasoned daters like myself, the 40 plus crew, life is lifing. Sometimes businesses aren't as profitable as they were. People are going through divorces where they're paying alimony, child support. So they might be in a financially difficult season. That does not mean that they're financially irresponsible, but definitely not a time to have conversations about your finances when you're first starting to date someone.
What's another common thing that you see people make a mistake on that first date that's just kind of, that date killer? It's just like, well, that's it.
Okay, so some of the things that people could do is oversharing. One. So again, we just talked about not talking about your financial situation on a first date, not talking about your ex. So some people might feel the need to talk about their ex and why they might be in the position that they're in and talk down about their ex. So we definitely don't want to do that on a first date. And also the opposite side of that, beware of love bombing because oftentimes when someone is doing the most and fake flossing, as I say, on a date and love bombing you, that can be a little bit confusing too. Now, I want to be clear, just because someone is giving you a great date and you're enjoying yourself and they're spending a lot of money, that doesn't mean that they're a love bomber. But you want to be aware of things where everything seems just too good to be true, where your intuition is sitting there like, okay, something is feeling a little off about the situation. Dating is about collecting data. Do not ignore those little intuitions and those little red flags. It doesn't mean that you don't go out on another date, but it means that you put it in your mental Rolodex so you can be aware of it and observant of it. So as you continue to date someone, you can see if it is actually a red flag.
I always say, file that. That's a file. That's a file.
Exactly. Put that in the file.
Yeah, put that in the file. That's probably, I'm going to leave that on top of the file cabinet because that's probably going to come up pretty fast, right? Monique, it's always
exactly.
It's so good to, unfortunately, I had to go through that. Finally I'm finally, married and we're good now. But boy, I tell you.
Got it right. You got it right.
So Monique, really quick before we go, if you, social media, if somebody wants to get in contact with you, you're like, oh my gosh, I need more help.
Find me at Cocktails and Confessions on Instagram and DM me, and we can set up a time for a session.
All right. Monique, thank you so much. You always have such good advice, such good insight. I'm sure we will see you again. All right. Thanks for that.